I really wanted to just put this video out, and I'm just like, what's the coincidence that today is the day that I'm putting the video out and I experienced something similar to this person. So I did have this dream about someone. I was at your home and you have children, and there was someone that came to your home, and you and I were sitting down. You made me some tea or coffee. I don't remember what I was drinking, but you made me something to drink and we were talking. And there was someone that came in the home. I feel like this person knew you, because I'm not sure if it was a family or friend or whoever, but this person knew you. And she came in and you kind of gave her a cup of tea, and she was looking at your house and she was like, when do you ever clean up? Like, oh my goodness, like, when do you ever clean up? It's filthy in here, and oh my gosh, I can never live like that. And I feel like it's someone you're comfortable with, because the way she was talking to you is that it's kind of like you were used to her talking to you like that. And I'm looking at her like, whoa, you know? And to be honest, I didn't even really notice the mess, you know, because I was just focused on the tea. It's when she said it and I looked around, I noticed that there was mess, but I didn't notice it because, to be honest, I'm kind of used to, you know, kids making a mess, because I'm a mom too, right? This person wasn't a mom, you know? So and then we're talking and she literally said to you, you know, you're a horrible mom. And I'm gonna be honest, when she said that to you, I'm gonna be honest, I snapped at her. Not in a bad way, but I literally told her off. I was like, how dare you call her a bad mom? Do you know how hard it is being a mom? Do you not understand like how difficult it is? Like, and I went in, okay? And then I remember waking up. And I was like, God, honestly, I was like, whoa. So I wrote down on my phone, you're a very good mom, as to remember this type of dream. Like, I wrote that down as a remembering to say, okay, Friday I'll post it, whatever, you know? So this morning I woke up. This is when I'm like, you know, God really wanted me to say something, because this morning I woke up and, you know, I remembered a part of the dream that I didn't remember at that time. You know, when you remember parts of the dream later on, and here's what happened. So here's how I remembered it. So I cleaned up the house last night, you know, and I cleaned up the kitchen, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go to my bed. And as parents, if you're a parent, mom, dad, grandma, whoever, you know that sometimes when you clean up, it's not gonna stay clean. You know what I mean? It's like, especially when you have kids, especially when they're older. Like, I thought when my kids got to a certain age, like, you know, they were going to be able to clean up after themselves and stuff like that, and it would be a lot easier. But to be honest, when they were toddlers, it was a lot easier to clean up than the age they are now, because now it's like I have to like keep telling them to clean up. You know, when they're toddlers, it's kind of like they make more smaller mess. They don't make mess with dishes and all that stuff. But now that they're older, the dishes, all that, it's like, oh my goodness, I rather them be toddlers and I can clean up the toys. That's a lot easier. You know, so but when they were toddlers, I'm like, I can't wait till they get older, they can clean up their own mess. And then now I have to clean dishes and stuff, right? But with that being said, like, so I woke up this morning and I went downstairs and I was completely shocked, because I cleaned up last night. But what happened was, they, you know, kids, they like to, you know, sneak and go downstairs in the middle of the night sometimes and cook, and, you know, and my daughter did some type of experiment last night with flour and ketchup. Like, she was doing some type of science experiment, and vinegar, like, you know, YouTube videos for kids. And they, you know, she knew she couldn't do the experiment with me being up, because I would have been like, I just cleaned up, you're not doing that. So they waited until I fell asleep to go downstairs and do the experiment, right? And I'm not sure what happened. I think there was baking soda involved too. You know, when there's baking soda, vinegar, and all that stuff involved, flour, all that stuff. So no, it wasn't flour, it was baking soda. All that stuff involved, there's going to be some sort of explosion, right? Because science class, you know? So I went downstairs. I'm like, okay, I woke up in a good mood. I'm like, I'm gonna go downstairs and, you know, make the kids breakfast, and I'm gonna go get ready to record the videos. And I'm like, oh, Steph, don't forget about the mom video, you know, because I didn't get the full message at the time. But then this is what gave me the full message, right? So I saw the mess downstairs, and I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to cry. And here's the thing, as parents, like, I don't think people understand like how difficult it is being a parent. There's a reason why they say it takes a village to raise a child, okay? Because raising a child is not easy, period, okay? Especially if you're like a single dad or single mom and you have more than one child, it takes if they say it takes a village to raise one child, imagine one person raising 3 children or 2 children or 4 children or 5 children by themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? And imagine that one person also is responsible for the bills. That one person is responsible to work. So it's like everything is this parent's responsibility. It's not like they have someone to take care of one portion of the house and then you take care of another, or they have someone to help. You know what I mean? So when you're by yourself, it's difficult, right? So I went downstairs. It was so messy. I wanted to cry because I'm like, I just cleaned up. Now I did not plan to clean like this morning. Now I have to do it. And I went back upstairs to kind of just like calm down, you know, get ready for the day and stuff like that. And then, you know, I went back downstairs and, you know, I was like, maybe I should apologize to the kids for getting upset at them for making that mess, because kids are kids. So I did get upset at them, and I apologized to them, and I'm like, I'm sorry for getting upset. I'm like, but you guys have to understand that when I clean up, you guys can't be doing experiments late hours at night, because look what I have to do now, you know. So I explained it to them. Then it clicked to me. I remembered the other half of the dream. I was like, oh, and I remembered the other part of the dream. The lady that came into the dream and judged this person, she ended up apologizing in the dream, and I didn't remember that until today. I was like, oh yeah, she did apologize, right? And then the Lord was saying this had to happen for me to remember that, right? But also because he let me experience that in a dream with you, because I understand, right? So with that being said, he wanted me to tell you that there is someone out there that's been told that they're not a good parent, because whoever this person is that's close to you, it's like they always come around at the worst time. They come around when you're like either really tired, really stressed out, really busy, you know, you couldn't really keep up with the place, and it looked bad on you. When you know, they would come around, it would look like you're not taking care of things, you're not clean, or you're lazy. It would look so bad, not when they're not realizing that you do clean up. Because in the dream, I did snap at this person, because I was like, do you not understand this woman has cleaned her house how many times already? She has kids. It's not going to stay clean. Come on, there's going to be all of that stuff's going to happen when you have kids, you know? So I wanted to really talk to you about that, because God told me that if anybody, there's someone, I don't know who this is for, but if anyone has judged you relating to this kind of stuff, God knows what's going on. He sees it. He sees you. Okay. He sees what's going on. And remember that I don't want you guys to beat yourself up about it. Especially God doesn't want you to beat yourself up about it, because people don't know what we have to go through. It takes a village to raise a child, okay? So imagine you raising children or a child by yourself. It's not easy. And, you know, I just want to let you guys know that if you see someone out there, you know, it doesn't always, and let's just say you're around someone, it doesn't always mean that they're lazy. It doesn't always mean that they're not keeping up with things. You know, sometimes their children do make a mess. Kids make a mess, okay? Sometimes I clean up every single day, and I can't tell you how much times I get tired just from cleaning up. Sometimes it's just unlimited hours of chores. Like, I'll be done cleaning the kitchen, and as soon as I'm done cleaning the kitchen, I'll go upstairs to clean upstairs. By the time I come back in the kitchen, there's a mess already. Do you get what I'm saying? And that happens every single day. And you know, and it's hard, because if you have a family member or a friend come over, in their mind, if they don't have kids, in their mind they think, oh wow, like, why doesn't she ever like clean up her living room when her living room was clean all morning? It's just when you came over, the kids made a mess, right? So it's like, people have to understand and stop pointing fingers, you know. And this happened to me before too, where like there was times where I would clean up, and then literally after I clean up, I would go to school, wake up like 6 a.m. in the morning, get ready for school. I would go to school, drop the kids off at daycare, because their school starts at a certain time, so I would have to drop the kids off at daycare for 7 o'clock. Then I would go to school, come back and pick them up at the daycare at like 6 p.m. And then I would go home, and then when I get home, I have to work. So I would have to work when I get home. I wouldn't be going to bed until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm extremely tired, but I gotta get up and clean up a little bit. Or sometimes I'll say, you know, I'm so tired, I'm so beat from work and stuff, I gotta clean up early in the morning, so I have to wake up like 5 a.m., clean up, go back to school, do the whole. And sometimes people don't see that, right? So when people don't see that's the schedule that I have, it's like, imagine like I have a bunch of laundry that has to be folded, but that was my schedule. The only time I can even fold the clothes would be like on a Saturday when I don't have school, or Sunday, right? But let's just say that part of the week someone came over and they're like, girl, when do you ever fold your laundry? And it's kind of like, do you get what I'm saying? In their mind, it would look like, okay, her house is clean and stuff, but her laundry's not folded. Like, why don't you ever fold your laundry? And what that person doesn't realize is by the time I get home and by the time I, finish work and making dinner, sometimes I don't have time to even make dinner. I have to order dinner, sometimes, because it would be so hectic, to the point where I have to have clean clothes. So I would wash the clothes and dry it, but then I wouldn't have time to fold it because that would take a lot of time. So I would only have time to fold it on Friday or Saturday. Do you get what I'm saying? And then even then, there's a new pile of clean laundry that has to be folded. So people don't see that kind of stuff, right? So I just want to say, like, if you have gone to someone's home or you have been around someone and you're like, this girl has never done this, or wow, every time I go to her place, like, there's toys everywhere, or, there's dishes in the sink, or, like, please, and if you know this person has children, just please be mindful that, especially if they're a single parent, like, please be mindful that there may be a lot more going on than you even can see yourself, right? And it does not mean that the person doesn't take care of themselves or they're lazy. No, because there's times where I've been up all day doing tasks. I just never got to finish one specific thing, but then it would look in someone else's eyes like I didn't want to do it, right? When I've done plenty of things for the day, but they would not have known that. Do you see what I'm saying? So just don't judge people. Don't judge people. And if you're a parent and you go through that, believe me, I know, okay? I know what it's like to be consistently cleaning 24/7. This is why I said I love my car, because I'll be in the house, it'll be clean, and I leave, I go to the grocery store, I come back, and I'm just like, the kids are loud, I'm like, let me go sit in my car away from everything. I know what it's like to have children. I know what it's like to consistently be doing chores. On top of that, I know what it's like to be extremely tired after doing chores and then going back and having to do it again. So I don't want, not just me, but God doesn't want you to beat yourself up over that. That's something you have no control over. You do the best that you can. You do the best that you can. And I'm here to tell you, kudos to you. You deserve a pat on the back. Don't beat yourself up. And I don't care who this family member or who this friend is that's coming to you and trying to make you feel bad or make you feel like you're lazy and all that kind of stuff. You know you're not lazy. You know you're a good parent. You know you clean up consistently. They can't see what goes on behind closed doors. So let them judge. Period. Let them judge. Okay? But I'm here to tell y'all that if you have been around someone that has kids and you see this all the time, like, oh my goodness, like, please be mindful that it's hard having children, especially by yourself. Please be mindful of that. You know what I mean? And don't judge people, So the main message that God told me was the person that said this to you is going to apologize to you. I'm not sure why, like what happened, but I honestly feel like, because remember, I didn't remember about the apology until like this morning, until my kids experimented in the kitchen. Then I remembered about the apology, but I had to go through that experience for me to remember about the apology, right? So I feel like what God was showing me was that they're going to go through some sort of experience to where they realize it's not that easy. It's like, for example, let's just say that they babysit someone's child for the week or for the day, and then they're like, whoa, I literally babysat this baby or this child for the day, and I've literally cleaned up 5 times today already, and I'm exhausted and I gotta clean up again. Then they're gonna think back to you, the person they judge, and be like, wow. So it's gonna be something like that. It's gonna be something like that. There is a commercial that I saw on TV one time. no, it wasn't on TV, it was on Facebook. And I'm going to explain it to you. I think some of you guys may have saw this, where there was a husband and there's a wife, right? The husband works all the time, right? He was working, and the wife is at home, but the wife has specific duties in the house, right? And you know, so the wife has like a list of chores that she does consistently, and the husband comes home every day, and he would come home and he would be miserable because of work and everything, and she would have dinner made for him, but every time he came home, he put her down. He would be like, why didn't you do the laundry? Why haven't you folded the laundry yet? Why is there stuff all over the floor? What did you do all day today? You're lazy. I've been working all day and you didn't do nothing today. Everything is exactly how it was, right? And he would complain all the time. And when I saw that commercial, I was like, whoa, he's bright. So I'm watching the commercial, and then, you know, what happened was they showed the wife's perspective, and literally she did a lot for the day, but because he wasn't there, he wasn't able to see it, because he saw the kids make a mess, you know, in a place where she already cleaned that morning. It looked like she didn't clean it at all, right? Because she didn't have the laundry folded, it looked like she didn't do laundry at all, right? What he didn't realize was she already folded the laundry for the week, but that was a new laundry that was added on, right? So he didn't see all that, so it looked like she didn't do anything, right? And literally around the time she finally made dinner and he came home, she had one more task to do for the day, for her to get her alone time, right? And because he came home and was acting like that, she had to scratch out her alone time for herself and go back and do everything she already did all over again just to make him happy. And she had no time for herself for the day, right? And because all the tasks that she did, it got messy again because of the kids, right? But he didn't see that, right? So how he realized that's what she did was he found her list, her chore list, and she crossed out everything that she accomplished for the day. But because he came home late when everything already got messy again, it looked like she didn't do it, and he felt bad. He felt extremely horrible for treating her like that because she had no time for herself. So it reminds me of that. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell people, like, just don't judge anybody. Don't judge anybody. I know back in the day when I was younger, before I had kids, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I went to this person's house, and you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a very like ruthless teenager. I was very rude. I was very attitude-y because I was going through a lot, you know. So because I was going through a lot, like I was not the most well-behaved teenager. You know what I mean? And I was judging a lot, and I would be like, oh my gosh, look at him or look at her, and and it's like now that I've grown and I've matured, and it's like, wow, like it's not easy. It's really not easy, you know. And I don't judge people, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to let you know that if you're going through that, you are going to get an apology from someone who has judged you. And if you are a husband and you have a wife, you know, and there's sometimes you feel like she's lazy or she's not doing nothing, like see what she does for the day before you assume that. You know what I mean? I know there was times where like I was accused of being lazy, and what people didn't understand from my own family, and what they didn't understand was I was fighting off a heavy spiritual warfare. I was like I was being attacked every night with magic, you know. So I would get no sleep, and then when the daytime would hit, that's when I would be tired, and it would look so bad on me, but they didn't understand what the dynamic of what was happening behind the scenes, right? So it's so important for us to really not judge people, you know what I mean? Anyways, I love you guys. I do have a message relating to a new technique that those who are spiritually attacking you are doing. This technique was revealed to me last night because they tried doing it to me. So I'm going to explain that to you in a very short video after this. I love you guys. See you soon. Bye.